The sixth flight of Starship, carried out on November 19th, marked a significant milestone. It was the fourth Starship launch in 2024, double the number of flights conducted in 2023. Currently, the seventh flight is scheduled for early January, although no official date has been announced yet. However, the past month has seen several notable updates at Starbase, accompanied by statements from Elon Musk and SpaceX, as well as new hints about Starship's plans for 2025. Today, we will dive deeper into Starship's progress. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated on upcoming episodes and new insights into Starship's flights and developments. The sixth flight of Starship, unfortunately, did not achieve a full success in the mid-air capture of the Super Heavy booster rocket. While the launch was generally deemed successful, the capture failure was caused by a communication issue with the launch tower, although neither SpaceX nor Elon Musk has provided specific details about the problem. As a result, Booster 13, which was used for the flight, performed a controlled splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico near the launch pad. Although such a maneuver is expected for Starship flights, the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, has not opened an investigation into the matter. Another crucial aspect of this flight was the in-space ignition test of one of the Raptor engines on Starship Ship 31. About 37 minutes after liftoff, Starship used its fuel tanks to power one of the three engines optimized for atmospheric flight, which was ignited for a few seconds as planned to study Starship's structural limits. Ship 31 then performed an atmospheric re-entry at a steeper angle than in previous flights, marking a significant evolution in re-entry maneuvers. Additionally, SpaceX removed 2,100 heat shield tiles, particularly on the side section, to gather data on the behavior of aerodynamic surfaces and the heating of unshielded areas. During the descent phase, Ship 31 briefly adopted a nose-down position, a maneuver used to further test the control systems of the upper and lower aerodynamic surfaces. Subsequently, the three Raptor engines were successfully ignited to bring the spacecraft back to a vertical position, completing the re-entry successfully at the designated point. All these maneuvers highlight how the sixth flight of Starship served as a crucial testing ground for various phases and components of the spacecraft, as well as a fundamental step in testing the in-space ignition of the Raptor engine. The seventh flight of Starship is expected to follow a trajectory similar to the sixth, but with a key difference. The spacecraft used will be a new version, Block 2, designated as Ship 33. Ship 33 will soon arrive at the Massey site for its first static fire test. Despite this new version, Ship 33 will still be equipped with Raptor 2 engines, which were used in the latest prototypes. Starting in 2025, SpaceX plans to equip Starship with the new Raptor 3 engines, but it is still unclear which prototype will integrate this upgrade and when we might see a Raptor 3 engine fly in space. According to documents submitted by NASA to the FAA, the launch of Ship 33 is not expected to occur before January 11th, the date when NASA has requested the availability of the Gulfstream 5 aircraft to monitor the recovery of Ship 33 in the Indian Ocean. If the recovery is successful, SpaceX could attempt the first mid-air capture of Starship as early as the eighth flight, a milestone in the spacecraft's history. For 2025, SpaceX aims to intensify Starship testing, including the first propellant transfer between two Starship vehicles. This would be a critical step for future long-range missions, such as those to the Moon and Mars. In another significant development, on November 20th, the FAA released a new environmental impact analysis document to allow an increase in launches from Starbase. SpaceX has requested permission to conduct up to 25 flights per year, with a total of 50 recoveries of Starship and Super Heavy. During the broadcast of the sixth flight on November 19th, SpaceX showcased renders of the HLS, Human Landing System, version of Starship, designed for the Artemis program's return to the Moon. Notable modifications include a reduction in the number of windows on the spacecraft's upper section, the addition of slots for solar panels, and a redesign of the landing legs. The engines intended for lunar landing now total 18, arranged in 6 groups of 3, designed to control Starship along all axes. Additionally, SpaceX confirmed that during the Artemis 3 mission, there will be a docking between Starship and the Orion capsule in lunar orbit. Recent political appointments could impact the space program. On December 4th, Donald Trump announced that Jared Isaacman, a billionaire entrepreneur and significant SpaceX collaborator, will be the new NASA administrator. Isaac Mann has flown to space twice with SpaceX, funding the Inspiration 4 mission and initiating the Polaris program with SpaceX. Isaac Mann's appointment still requires Senate confirmation, but his leadership could bring significant changes to the Artemis program and, specifically, the Polaris program. Furthermore, it remains unclear how this will affect Starship missions, particularly the first human-crewed mission aboard Starship, expected in 2025. Starship's ambitions are not limited to the moon. SpaceX's ultimate goal is to send humans to Mars. The declared plan is to conduct the first launches to the Red Planet during the launch window between late 2026 and early 2027. This milestone represents the ultimate challenge for SpaceX and humanity, marking a critical step toward the colonization of another planet. Following Ship 31's splashdown, recovery units intervened to collect the remains of the spacecraft. Among the recovered components were COPV tanks and several heat shield tiles, but the spacecraft itself was not retrieved in its entirety. Meanwhile, SpaceX continues work on the construction of the second launch pad, which will feature mechanical arms needed for moving and mid-air rocket captures. On November 12th, a motor was installed to enable the Mechazilla tower arms to move along the structure's height, making rocket recovery possible. SpaceX also announced plans to expand its production capacity, aiming to build up to 3 Starship prototypes per day, as declared after the 6th flight. Additionally, maintenance work has begun on the launch pad, including repairs to pipelines and antennas damaged during liftoff, particularly on the Mechazilla tower. SpaceX is still fine-tuning protective measures to prevent damage to infrastructure caused by the powerful Raptor engines of the Super Heavy rocket. While it has not been confirmed whether damage to the communication antenna hindered the capture, SpaceX has initiated structural repairs. Starship continues to make tremendous progress, with intensified testing and SpaceX's expanding production capabilities. SpaceX's ambitions, which include flights to the Moon and Mars, now seem within reach. With the arrival of the new Starship version and the use of Raptor 3 engines, the future looks promising, though it will still take time before SpaceX can achieve its ultimate goal, a fully reusable spacecraft capable of taking humanity to Mars and beyond. Stay tuned for further updates.